All right, we're back. A lot more information every day. We're trying to bring you information, and we're trying to get Lafourche and Terrebonne information out. Joining us now is Councilman Daniel Lorraine. You all know him, District 9, Lafourche Parish, which is Galliana, Golden Meadow, Fouchon area. Mr. Daniel, good to have you on board. How are you, sir?
I appreciate it, Martin, and I just want to open up by telling you I really want to thank you, because on your station, a lot of people watch it, the river parishes, and down the Bayou, I guess we could say, and across the Bayou, and you give the local news. You put it on the big stations, and all they talk about is the city, but you clarify all local stuff. And I know you work partnership, with them at times. But the good part about your station is that, and I can remember 1985 is probably when you started.
It was.
Well, guess what? I was 1 year on the council at that time, rookie, and I could tell you that was 37 years ago, and can't imagine what I have learned. I guess you can call me a veteran now.
Yeah, I think we both can be veterans now.
But this is a total mess. And
let me ask you this, because you went through
quite
Betsy.
a few.
You were, what, 11 or 12 for Betsy?
I was 12 years old.
All right, so you went through Betsy, and I keep seeing how they're categorizing this as a Category 4, but I guarantee you they're going to change this before it's over, because this was not a 4.
No, it was a 5.
Yeah.
Maybe closer to a 6, Mark.
Yeah, I agree.
But I guarantee you, I'm gonna agree with you on this one. It has to be a 5.
Yeah.
Ain't no ifs, ands, man.
Well,
but the thing is,
the
what I
clocking
noticed,
mechanisms they had at Fouchon, which are second to none,
boys, yeah.
where we're getting 180 and gusts at 212 to 220.
Well, Martin, let's just take, for example, the big utility boat, supply boat that was stuck in the marsh from the previous storm, drifted away. That ought to tell you something.
Yep.
Came hit the bridge, I was told, but for it to drift away from where it was at, they couldn't even get to it.
Yeah, and I have the insurance commissioner coming on tomorrow, Jim Donnelly, and there's a lot of rumors going around. You may have heard them that if it's a Cat 5, that they get your deductible taken care of, but I've been told now that's not true. So that is a rumor going around.
I kind of heard that too. Yeah. That's one rumor we'd probably hope that it would be true.
Yeah, well, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But then they wouldn't change it to a 5. They'd keep it at a 4.
Right.
So we're going to ask Mr. Donlin. He seems like an upfront guy, but we want to make sure he's representing the people, because there's a lot of people that have just lost everything, and you've seen it.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, man, hard to believe.
It's tough, I know, because you've got a lot of personal things you lost too.
My house is livable. I got damage, but from what I could see, it looks like about 1 out of 10 houses made it in the South. We got hit first. Terrebonne got hit. A lot of parishes got hit, right. But when it first came in, we were getting beat up, and what I noticed is this thing, like Betsy might have lasted a couple of hours. This one, 10, 12 hours, man. It was just banging.
It decided to stall.
I was in cutoff.
It decided to slow down once it got on land.
Yeah, we sent the wife and the kids up to Mississippi somewhere, and me and my son-in-law stayed. And I basically stayed just to try to help out what I could do, because I don't usually stay.
But you know what I've seen, and I see it in you, and I've seen it in everybody who was old enough to remember Betsy. And I've asked old timers this question for years, but I used to say, what was worse, Betsy or Andrew? And I would be waiting for the answer. But now I'm asking which one was worse, Betsy or this, and this one is by far the worst.
Well, now that you're saying that, there's some guys from Texas coming down the street the other day, I guess, doing different things, electrical stuff and all, and they asked me. And we talked about it, and I told him, and he says, you're about the 5th person that tells me that this one was way worse than Betsy. But it was. I mean, I think it's probably the worst one that ever hit the United States, period.
I think it is. It was worse than Katrina wind was, but our levees held.
Now, let me tell you something about the levees, and I know I'm on the HTV, Channel 10, home, and I just bragged about you for the local news, but I had the opportunity to be interviewed by CNN, and I told them those levees would hold. And then the lady tells me, she says, well, Miss Lorraine, she says, they didn't hold in New Orleans. I said, that's correct, ma'am. I says, but let me make it clear. I says, any levee can break at any given time.
Correct.
None of these levees are guaranteed. But I could tell you, 40 years they've been working on these levees, way back. Never could get them certified by the Corps. People taxed themselves. We did get some state, federal help, but the bulk of it came from taxing your own people like they do in Terrebonne.
Right.
Tax your own people. That seems like what we can do. So do you think they're going to get certified now? She says, well, they broke in New Orleans. I said, well, ma'am, let me tell you one thing. You cannot compare the levees in New Orleans with South Lafourche.
That's right.
And I says, the rest of the parish, we have decent levees. They're working on them, but they're way behind South Lafourche, the years. Terrebonne is working. In fact, they work together. You know, that levee cutting across by Pointe-à-Champ.
Yeah.
Because we're all in the same boat.
That's no doubt.
You know. And,
But hold that thought, because we've got to take a mandatory break here, but I'm going to come back with Mr. Daniel Lorraine. He's always been very candid, you know that. And so we're going to have a good conversation when we come back. Don't go away.